team at this event that has a more star-studded lineup than Liquid. They tried multiple different ways, and they never really figured out the magic formula.
Stewie just tears them all down!
What we do know is this team won't look like this in a couple months' time.
That was my Steam.
Knowing what we know about Liquid, and there's some rumors around the playing roster moving forward, and the future of these players in this roster certainly being uncertain, I think it actually plays into the hands of OG, despite the good form of an elated Liquid.
We are going to be jumping on into the map. It is going to be Team Liquid up against OG. It's anyone's game. Let's see what happens here in the pistol.
Hey everyone, this is
Ray.
from Team Liquid. I've been meaning to give you an update with regards to our Counter-Strike roster.
Looks kind of weird, not
As
gonna
I'm
lie.
sure many of you have heard, we are making a couple roster changes.
At the time, I decided to join Team Liquid because SK had decided to go their separate ways. They wanted to rebuild a Brazilian team. And for me, Liquid was the #1 team that I wanted to join because they were already performing very well. And just watching from the sidelines, I felt like I could add something to the team and maybe I can help take them to where they want to be as well.
I think just getting Stewie in the lineup is the #1 thing we're working on right now, and just making sure we know who's doing what on what maps, and just making sure we have all of our bases covered.
On SK, I felt like in a sense I was a little limited in how I wanted to play the game, and I was actually totally fine with it. Joining Team Liquid, I felt like this is the natural style I get to play. I'm going to be playing off my teammates very well and kind of regain that style that I didn't get to play on SK.
So I think what Jake brought to the team was just that extra voice and that extra guidance in the middle of rounds or even in freeze time. He has a great read of the game and one of the best at mid-rounding, in my opinion.
We had, I think, obviously a very strong pickup in terms of Stewie 2K. He's by far, I think, the smartest player that I've ever played with.
You off?
He encouraged all of us in
waiting
to
for FPL to start?
Especially in-game and then also emotionally. And mentally outside the game as well.
It was definitely super exciting to join Team Liquid. It was kind of a new chapter for me because I already closed the last one, knowing that SK, I wasn't going to be there forever. It was more so a learning experience for me as well, just so I can, grow as a player, grow as a human being. And before I joined Liquid, I was more motivated than ever. I already knew that they had the opportunity to win a lot, and I wanted to be a part of that team that won a lot, and kind of see where that took me.
They played 14 lands last year and only placed outside top 4 times. They had a really good run last year. So many finals appearances. It was just Astralis was always there.
I think it's kind of hard to call for this one. Liquid look really good a lot of the time, but it depends on how Stewie fits in and where things go.
Shift his way around, actually really atypical position. Does Zipnix expect? He is shoulder picking. The molly comes right to his face, and Stewie holds tight. Nap will fall back into the pit, and he'll take a second one as well. That's it! Nap seals the deal. There is a slight hope for Astralis, but
This is funny because this was, I think, the first tournament. This was the beginning of their run, and we played them at this tournament. Ghost. We played them at the beginning of this tournament, and we played FaZe. We played FaZe twice. We beat FaZe twice. We played Liquid once, and then we played Astralis in semis. When we played Liquid, I was like, this team's going to be a fucking problem. I remember. I'm getting chills thinking about it because I was like, this team's going to be a problem. Because I remember I talked to Steel after. I was like, they're just fucking good. They're firing on all cylinders because after we lost to Astralis, we got owned on one of the maps. And then this second map, we went to OT, I'm pretty sure, or it was 16-14. And we should have won. But when we played Astralis, I was like, Liquid felt way better. I'm like, dude, this team's going to be nasty. I remember when after that tournament, I was like, this team's going to be the best team. I was like, they're going to beat them. If they get through the mental part of it, and I think with Stewie, he brought mental, like an edge to them. So for me, I was like, I knew they were already going to be fucking insane. I had a feeling.
It was Liquid, the late-breaking horses.
The whole team was feeling amazing. It's like we finally did it. We finally beat Astralis. I think that really helps everyone on the team seeing that it's actually possible. Like we can beat these guys. Not that we didn't think it was possible before, but just actually accomplishing it really makes a difference. And I think going into the next games against them, it's gonna help.
I don't think there was really a honeymoon phase. I think we started off on the right foot, actually. And even the first tournament that we won against Astralis at the RyanAbadir Masters tournament, we knew that it doesn't mean that we were better than them. It was more so that our skill ceiling is way higher than we actually believe it can be. So
yeah, their skill is
the
insane.
right tools and the right ethic, I think we can actually.
Dude, so like Elige was coming into his prime. Naf was coming into his prime. Twist was already fucking insane. Nitro is like still nuts, and Stewie like is a fifth. Their team was so stacked, like with like skill. Like you were never getting headshotted slowly by these guys. It's like if you didn't instantly kill them, you were fucking dead. It was like just playing 5 fucking ranked demons, dude, all the time. And they would randomly pick up the op. Like Nitro, Stewie, and Naf could all pick up the op. So it was super frustrating to deal with.
Actually achieve and make it there, and we believe that once we win that first one, everything will just keep going for us. And
yeah, 100%.
We just kind of rode the momentum.
Yeah, they were nuts.
Waiting, anticipating an Alu push. He comes through the shadows. Oh, that's ineffable from that fly. That's absolutely sensational.
Oh, ding dong. Happy. Mathwise got the first one. That's going to bait them into Stewie's crosshair, but he gets nothing. Nav, more smoke spam. Of course. Why not?
The boys smokes. The T's have to push through. Great flashbang, but a better follow-up. It's Elise that somehow makes it work. Can he get a second? Surely not. Zipnex removes him, and Nitro is in a compromised position, but somehow it works. He can get the second. Nitro!
Doors there. Kusta's trying to wall him right back, but here comes the aggression. Kusta blind as a
bat,
and
versus
that
us.
is going to be the end of it.
Is that us? Was that
Right
on this
back,
team?
but here
Yeah.
comes the aggression. Kusta blind as a bat, and that is going to be the end of it.
Yeah, they were good.
So we just got done playing OG, and it was honestly a pretty good win from us. We were kind of wondering what kind of form they would be in. They haven't been at an event for like a couple months, so it's kind of interesting.
He did, Frato. He was looking at his teammate's screen to see if he killed
Going
him.
into the next match, we're going to be playing G2, and they have a stand-in with Kenny S, so that'd be another interesting one to check out.
I just remember playing the matches during that time, and I just felt like we're just unbeatable. Nobody could beat us.
Luckily holds onto the wall. Nap, UMP, low HP. He finds the first, and he knows he's in a one-on-one. He's got it.
Especially with a Grand Slam on the line, that like nobody's gonna take that away from us.
Is this where it ends? Alu in a 3 versus 1. Shot Twist is tagged, but he's got the kill. And Liquid have it. They've got the championship. They've got Masters. And 2 in the Intel Grand Slam.
I just remember during that time, nothing's gonna stop us.
Where's the rest of the backup? They're not going to be there in time. Nitro with a massive spray gets the last 1-2 and shuts down the entire French lineup.
Yeah, I would just say during that time, we definitely felt really unstoppable.
One game, one match of Counter-Strike away.
It's crazy how you could be on top and then all of a sudden you lose once and it's like issues come.
$1 million
so weird.
Into their bank account.
Yeah, and I hope that they're looking at it like it's a bonus, because right here, right now, it doesn't matter about that $1 million. They lived in the shadow of Astralis for all of 2018. They suffered so many defeats at their hands in grand finals, and now this is their time, this is their year, and I don't think Vitality are going to be able to stop them here, because Team Liquid, they look determined.
None of us really like questioned each other. Like we all just believed in each other, and I think at the end of the day, that's if you want to be successful at the very end of the day, I just believe that you just can't doubt your teammates and all that. And I remember during that time, I don't think any of us had any doubt.
Twist was part of the reason the finals didn't go their way last year. He didn't show up on the big stage. He's turned this. He has the gun. He's using the Deagle. He's got confidence in his name, and he sees it as RBK is found. And Elige has to play this to perfection. Smoke on his right, tap on the bomb, spray through, 8 HP, and Alex is forced to move, forced to get away, and the smoke's still down. Elige knows he's nowhere else. He has to be there. He is so smart. He clears everything. 3 steps ahead, and he gets championship point for Liquid.
They're trying to bring it down to the 2 versus 1. If it's RPK that's dropped, they could be in serious trouble. That should do it. There we go. It's Team Liquid, and that's what it means to them. They've taken it at the 4th map. The favorites coming into the tournament have just unlocked the Intel Grand Slam. That's ESL 1 Cologne under their belt and $1 million bonus.
It definitely did feel somewhat quick, but at the same time, it also felt like somewhat of a journey. I know that a lot of our events that we won a lot of them were back-to-back, but at the end
Where
of
is
the day,
Henry
like,
G
when you're
at?
playing Counter-Strike, a lot of these games
I
are
miss
so
him.
stressful, and even regardless, even with how good we were playing back in the day, the games at the end of the day were always very stressful, and there's a lot of things going on with the emotions and all that, and it obviously weighs on you, and it can make you feel like you're there forever, or maybe it'll make you feel like you're there for a short time, but during that time, I don't know, it was just a flood of everything, so usually we would take turns like lifting trophies and stuff like that, and I'm just like, I just remember just thinking like to myself, I'm just like, I'm walking up to this trophy, and I'm just gonna lift it myself because I'm just like, what better trophy to just lift than the Cologne trophy, and yeah, I just remember going up there and just lifting the trophy, and I just remember like during that time I had so much adrenaline running through my body that I was able to just lift it up, and I just felt like Thor with his hammer, you know, just putting it up there, and I just even remember like the next morning, like when I woke up and we had to take the trophy back to the liquid offices, and I remember I couldn't even carry it because all the adrenaline in my body just like ran out completely.
Isn't he running C9? I don't think so anymore. Henry G is canceled.
Only one big guy, I'm gonna cut rotates, you guys go B. As soon as I say that, he lurks, he's both B. I was like, alright, you guys just face
I think it was all Liquid, just running into B side over and over again and keep getting shutting down.
They are great players, great team. They are not surprising too much. I would say only Stewie is doing some moves like that is surprising us, but they are just playing normal basic CS. And since I joined G2, honestly, we didn't have problems with them. We played 3 or 4 times, and every time we have beaten them. They play really proper and normal CS, so it's enjoyable to play against legends like they are.
Then Astralis Liquid.
Again, who loses is out.
The classic as well, right? So a lot of, you know, good games tomorrow.
What's your mentality coming into this major? Are you feeling really good? Do you think the player break kind of like did some weird shit for you guys? Like where's your head at going into the major?
I think going to the major, I think we're actually in the same mindset as before the major, or before the player break, sorry, and there's nothing really to it.
Dude, that player break, it ruined them. I remember it too, because we came back and we scrimmed them. I was like, Jesus, they didn't feel the same. I remember that too, because we played them and I was like, they didn't have that same kind of electricity in scrims that we used to have. Like in scrims, they would they were just so good in scrims. I just remember I was like, we played every team in NA, and like when we played them in scrims, I was always really excited to play them because they were the best, obviously. And I just remember when we scrimmed them after the player break, they didn't feel necessarily as strong.
Obviously, we had some time off, but I'm pretty sure my whole team was just playing CS the whole time anyway. So we're a little bit rusty in the strategic department, but obviously we're at a boot camp here in Malta, so we're working on it, and we'll be back to normal.
I think that this is the first major that we ever come into that we are the favorites. I mean, barring like Face It major last year, but I think this one's a completely different one, obviously. Like, we are the best team, and I think that's a little different for everybody. I think it helps a lot, like us being able to come into any tournament, any match, and just know that if we just play our game and we play as good as we should, then we're gonna win. Where maybe last year there could have been like some type of doubt, this year, no way. I think that we've already accomplished more than just winning a major. I think that what we've already
Hey,
won
they're trying to
throughout
bust
this
out the
year
tanks, bro.
and
Damn.
winning Cologne with the teams that were there.
Do I have C9
is
merch? Yeah.
A better accomplishment than winning the major. So if we had any pressure about thinking about the major before this lineup came into fruition, then that should already be gone. I think right after the player break was when we were actually like struggling a little bit because people like really like took a good break. I mean, we deserved it, of course. We were traveling for months and we played really well. But when we got back
So
into
chat,
it,
let me take a leak. I'm telling you, dude, player breaks, bro. Well, one thing for sure. So like think about this. Let's say you have like all these huge tournaments. You just win the Grand Slam, right? You're probably kind of gassed out. Your player break is well deserved. What's kind of stupid is who the fuck puts a major as the first tournament after a player break? What the fuck is that scheduling? Like normally it's always like what is it? April or May or June? And then it's like player break and then it's like fucking November or some shit. Like why it was that shit right after a player break anyway? I remember even saying that to one of my teammates. I was like, dude, what a dumbass scheduling thing.
I think it was really difficult for us. We were trying to just get everything that we had before, and other teams were studying us during that time, and they were taking strategies that we were having, and then they were making it better, or they were countering what we already had. I got like strep throat during like the first week of that boot camp, so that also made it not as good of like the preparation for Berlin.
The last time we saw Liquid, they absolutely dumpstered Ints in Chicago. And I'm talking dumpstered them.
That was brutal best of 5 to watch. This Liquid's coming out of that player break. They've been boot camping in Malta, and honestly, I think we're gonna see more of the same throughout this major.
I think that we were playing well during the Berlin major, but like not up to like our standards.
This round possible. He's doing another one now. Cirque. He's gonna look so damn easy, so damn close quarters. What on earth? Doesn't have to be long range. Still, the AWP thrives.
Liquid leveled by energy. It's not necessarily what we expected.
It's all on this, a 2-on-2. The last couple of seconds left, a flashbang to try and buy some more time. They don't have a kit right now. I don't see how they can get this defused. There's Device, and there's Astralis, 16-13. They take down Team Liquid, and they're going to be in the semifinals.
That was our tournament that we were supposed to win. We were the favorites, heavy favorites going into it. So losing against them, especially in the quarters, I believe, was really difficult for a lot of us.
Device waiting for his teammates to arrive. He catches one on the cross twist. He's going to be furious! Device is insane! Pushing forward, he's ready for it! And another one! Stewie 2K missed his shot!
Bad plant is secured. Zipex knows Nitro can only be behind these flames. Through the smoke, he's going to creep around the corner, but no. So close just to a third round, but denied.
I don't really feel like we were like hitting a wall against Astralis up until the end of the year, because we were still playing in really good form earlier in the year, and I think we still like had like that Grand Slam hype around us, and we still felt like we were playing good. But you know, it didn't like really set in until like later when you like reflect back on it.
And he's gonna have the smoke. Does he stick this defuse down to the 2-second mark? Elise starts to spray. A minute. Oh, it's gone. One. Zipex could very well clutch this if he sticks it. No way. Astralis. Incredible.
It's crazy how a player break can literally ruin your everything. And then on top of that,
Yes, we all do love exactly what we're watching.
and it's nuts too to think about that. The first tournament, the major probably just kills your momentum. It's like you think you're gonna win it, and then you lose, and you're just like, "What the fuck? We're not the unbeatable people that we were before." And it's like, honestly, if I was them, I would have said, "Dude, this player break is much needed, but the first tournament is the major right after." It's like we gotta prac up until the major. We have to. There's like no way you could take time off right before a fucking major.
Right now, Counter-Strike is what brought us all here. But for the time being, I've been tasked with something very, very special, and I guess very interesting in a lot of ways. I've prepared this, so I'll just read from the card if you wouldn't mind. The Intel Extreme Masters Katowice 2020 will drive on, and we will complete this Masters Championship. However, I regret to inform you, the viewer at home, that the public or in-arena audience, that has been canceled.
I think some of the worst things about like the online era that we had was we were mainly playing like the same teams. It didn't feel like we had something to play for that like was meaningful compared to when you're going to a bunch of tournaments in person. You like feel the crowd and you see like the trophy and you're like lifting it up and you have like something to like really look forward to and feeling like that energy and atmosphere. But when you're just playing like in your room, then you don't really like have that same feeling for any of it. You don't get to see the trophy, you don't hear a crowd. It's kind of just the same rinse and repeat thing that you're doing every week. And when you have players that are like in Canada, in the US, like we have like a lot people that are really spread out, so we didn't have like a good ping situation for that.
There's two players close, and OC surely spotted him. He can't do anything here. And after a dominant first map in Liquid's favor, Cloud9 flip it.
They have no idea. They're going to come down the ladder in front of him. He's going to show. He's right there. Yeah, there's a player that can flank. He's going to get that kill too.
Done. It's done. This is it. This is going to be Gen G recovering in BTS in these past 2 weeks, looking at a whole new level. 16-9 victory over Liquid on Vertigo.
I think the only time that we ever felt like we needed a change was in like the middle of 2020. I think that's when we started like running into more motivation issues, and we stopped like being able to deal with like the online era super well. So that's when like the team decided that we needed a change. I think that we had like a really good team for a long time, but when like innovation and motivation start tapering off, then there's not much more you can do.
So when we parted ways with Eric, we were really at the height of a very, very stressful period for the team. COVID hit the North American teams extremely hard, only being able to play on.
So one thing I don't like about these roster changes, everyone has to try and find a scapegoat. Rather than looking internally at yourself, people look outward to blame why their team is losing. Except you can't just look at it and be like, hey, you have this issue and you have this issue. How do we work on these problems and fix it all together? Is it like a motivation issue? Like that's what it sounds like it was, but the reason why they're losing. It sounds like they're not playing that well because their motivation isn't there. They're not playing for anything. So it doesn't seem like it was anyone's direct fault. Like when I hear these words, I'm like, it's all their fault collectively. Because it's fucking boring playing online CS. They should just play less tournaments online.
Online and practice on the American servers, not being able to play any global or international tournaments, combined with just sitting at home and not really seeing anyone face to face or doing anything socially. And it was very, very
Why did
tough
Freak
for our
really
team.
simple?
At the time,
Because we were
felt it
best
was
friends.
right to make a change with regards to the coach and brought Moses in.
Initially with the coaching change, the team was feeling like we needed some more help, like motivation, and having someone that could like talk to the team and bring us back into things when we were like kind of losing it. I think that was like fair to say. I mean, I think that we were having like problems just keeping ourselves into it in 2020 and feeling motivated and playing like the same against the caliber of opponents that we were.
See, right there, that's already where I'd be like, as a coach or even a fucking sports psychologist would say this. If you're not motivated, then it's discipline. Your discipline needs to be there. If your discipline's not there, then you shouldn't be playing. Like, that's just as simple as that. Like, your motivation can't get you through life. It's impossible. Like, there's gonna be days where you don't want to do it. You have to have the discipline and focus to keep grinding. So when the big tournaments do come back or the matches do come, you're ready. And if your motivation, or I mean, if your discipline isn't there to perform or to continue to practice, to continue to keep getting better, then you're gonna lose. It's just that simple.
We're playing.
Because all these other fucking kids, like the Cloud9 people or the Extra Salts who were Cloud9 before, they're like, I want to beat the fuck out of Liquid. So it's like they're motivated. They're not relying on discipline. They're relying on their motivation. You have to rely on your discipline to get you through it.
2020?
When I first joined,
Glad.
I think the
Quit saying
team.
stupid shit.
I think the best way to describe the team, I felt like they were exhausted. I felt like the whole team was just tired. I think there'd been a very challenging year, obviously, with the travel situation. I think the role confusion that was in the team at the time was pretty rough on some of the guys, and more than anything, I think you could tell that someone like Nitro leaving, someone being such a big part of the team. He was such an important figure that I think there was just a lot of gaps that needed to be filled and figured out in his departure. And I think the players had just gotten exhausted from the frustration of trying to figure things out. There was just small challenges everywhere you looked, essentially.
I know that Nick still wanted to compete in CS, but there wasn't that many options.
This guy literally goes, Simple hates you, stupid. He won all these tournaments after you trash talked him. It wasn't directly after, it was when he joined Navi. But it was close, man. I think you should probably go fact check yourself first. Second, you can come suck my dick if you want. Like, if you really like me, you could suck my dick, all right? It's all good. But don't be a moron. Jake the Snake, thank you for the 4 months, man. I appreciate you. All right. He's copy and pasting, guys. He's copy and pasting. It's okay.
options for him, so I think it just made sense for him to go and compete in Valorant, and he also had his kid on the way, so I think that made like a big impact on it too for what he wanted to decide. COVID isn't gonna last forever, and we're gonna have to start traveling again, and even in 2018, 2019 was some of
I'm not bad. You're the one who just sucked my dick.
the longest travel years ever, in 2021 as well, and he knew that it was gonna be very difficult. So I think everything just kind of made sense for him to want to lean towards playing Valorant, but I know that he still likes CS a lot.
We're going to have Astralis taking on Team Liquid. Does it feel like you sort of throw those expectations out the window a little bit because they're playing, as I said, with a newfound freedom?
We needed
a
3 years
roster
after.
So many questions yet to be answered with. They're just throwing it all out there. These guys are rewriting the script to a degree.
You see this Astralis lineup in the major?
Yeah, it's an old familiar matchup, but a completely different matchup at the same time. I think it's an interesting position that both of these teams find themselves in.
Make it call to simple. If I showed you my DMs on Twitter, you'd probably not be typing right now, but do I really care enough about what you think, someone who's in my chat giving me an extra viewer, and also let me run a quick ad so I can make ad revenue off you? Do I care? Not really. I'm all good. I don't need to show you my DMs, you know? Just stay in chat so I can run my ad really quick, all right? I'd appreciate your revenue. Thank you.
Down there in the lower bracket.
Oh my god, this guy. Oof. This guy's real mad. Damn. I got this guy. I'm in this guy's head right now. Twitch shit talker's the real deal. 100%. Go on Instagram. Why would I go on Instagram? What are you gonna DM me your tiny wiener? Bro, you're like 16 years old. You gotta calm down, alright? I know I'm in your head and shit, but it's all good, dude. I just ran a quick ad on your ass. It's like I just wanted some of your money. Thank you for watching the stream, by the way. I appreciate you.
Bracket elimination
But let's get back to the video and not make this about you, okay?
on the line.
It is a big high-stakes game, right? Like both of these two teams, they're facing each other in the lower bracket. They're facing elimination.
You know, I'll be honest. I haven't even really looked into Grim all that much as a player quite yet. I didn't even know I'd have to be fully honest with you. So one of the few glimpses I've had of him was actually at Beyond the Summit when he had his incredible like multi-overtime game against MIBR where he dropped, I don't remember what it was, 40, 50 kills against that team. So I mean, as far as first glimpses go, that was a pretty incredible one to have that player now coming into your team. So more research needs to be done for Grim, but
Like talk shit in rugby? Oh, for sure. But I was also respectful at the same time.
everything seems promising. Everything everyone has said has been
Still playing
incredible about
professionally?
him.
Steve
No.
messaged me out of the blue on Twitter. He's like, hey, you want to talk about liquid opportunities? I'm like, oh, hell yeah, let's talk. We got in a meeting, we talked, and they basically said they wanted to basically explore opportunities with me and pick me up. And to me, I got that call. I tried to stay calm, but after that call, I started freaking out a bit because like, damn, you know, I really made it on the best NA team has to offer. You know, I wanted to be here for so long. It was a dream come true, honestly. I teared up a little bit. Like, I was super happy. And
Yeah, Graham's
honestly,
gonna be
meant
really good.
the world to me to be able to play for Team Liquid. As
He's
a
gonna be able to play his
upcomer,
role.
You know, I've been a fan of the scene for so long. I've been a huge fan of all these players for forever. Now, getting to work with them is like definitely a change of pace. Like, it's like you're looking up to these people, now you're actually working with them and playing with them. So, I have to say the first couple of days, I was a bit nervous, but once I got like comfortable in the team.
Can you make a
and-
poll if Swisher is better looking than me? I mean, are you just going off face or are you going off body type?
and started
Come
becoming
on.
friends with the players, definitely was a lot easier and I felt more at home.
So I think that was like a really hard time for us, like trying to make those changes in the middle of the online era when we brought in Grim. I think it was very hard for him because we really needed an opper, and bringing in Grim was not like the role that we needed. So we were gonna have to like adapt roles to try to like change things just to even bring him in. So I think it was like already difficult from the start. I think that we made it like kind of hard for him because like he's a rookie and he's good at like what he's doing. So I think that we probably should have accommodated him a lot more coming into the team instead of trying to just like slot him in into like what Nick was doing a bit better.
Nitro was Team Liquid's like golden guy, right? Like he's been there for forever, literally since the start.
Piff Toff, let's go and relax. Think Stewie's interview on Grim? I mean, it's all good. Does anyone remember the drama between Twist and his girlfriend? Who gives a fuck? That's like weird that that even goes on Twitter. Like a cheating scandal going on Twitter, that's literally nobody's business but the relationship. So it's stupid. Piffed. Like I may be my nothing in CS may be nothing to you, but you're in here watching my stream. So I like I said, I appreciate you as a viewer. Just leave the tab open overnight and we're all good. All right. And enjoy your mom's basement because I'm sure you're going to accomplish a lot in life typing in a Twitch chat, talking shit to somebody that you know nothing about. I'm sure you're doing really well in life, brother. So kudos to you, Doug.
I can't even remember like when the first time he joined. I think it was like 2015, 2014. Like he's been there for forever. So coming in to join for him, I definitely say there's definitely some pressure, but I didn't really let it affect me or my attitude in the team. Honestly, I didn't really think too much into it, but I definitely say there was some pressure for sure, trying to fill the shoes of Nitro.
Losing Nitro as someone who'd been in the team for 5 years, you know, what he brought in game was huge. What he brought out of game was he was kind of the center point of this whole team. We really needed someone who could come in and have a little bit more of like a unifying personality for the team. I think we needed someone who
created 6
was going to
hours.
have respect of the other players as well, who could kind of focus everyone on one single
Thanks, Xenox. First time chatter. Sick ends for Edgy Fragger still is eat shit,
the reason why I
motherfucker.
wanted to join Team Liquid
Thanks, bro.
as I left my BR is because it was Jake's team and also because probably the best American team out there. And I have been living in the United States since 2015 now, and I know that in Brazilian teams, I didn't really have a team to start with competing on the very high level. And at the time, my goal was to prove myself in a top tier 1 team and have the chance to be fighting for
1.8
titles,
cents
which
freak.
I think I had.
I'm
here
at
in this
1.9
team.
now, Raz.
So
I'm even
in
faster.
that sense, I think I found exactly what I wanted.
Fallen was definitely what we needed at the time. We needed an experienced caller, someone who could also pick up the op, because I don't think Liquid ever had like a real opera in a way. Keith was using it before, Naf was using it before. So we definitely could use a nice opera and such a nice experienced guy like Fallen.
When you bring in new blood to your lineup, you bring in new motivation as well. You bring in a new set of eyes who hopefully can not only change the way you play, but can give a different perspective on the way you approach the game. Yeah. Whether that is strategically, which of course it is with Fallen being an in-game leader, or whether that is, you know, as a personality, with the work ethic you come in, with the power, with the personality that he brings into the lineup, right? He's a giant personality, one of the most popular Counter-Strike players to ever touch the game.
But I remember at the time I was very excited for this new challenge, being accepted in one of the biggest organizations in the world, playing for possibly one of the best American teams that ever existed. You know, it was a big pleasure for me. I knew that we're differently when it comes to in-game stuff, but my hope at the time was that we would be able to help each other grow up together.
English only Piff
Coldzera
Toff.
stays in flux. There's a chance potentially
That's a
that
warning.
Fallen could find him. However, done.
We never had a dedicated opera. We never had a dedicated IGL. I don't really know what to say, but I'll just say it, I guess. We obviously, after our recent performances, we're trying to implement Fallen as our main IGL now.
You guys have had a mixed bag of results. Sometimes it looks great, sometimes it looks meh. From the beginning, it was Fallen's not going to be in-game leading, and now Fallen is in-game leading. What was the switch that happened here?
That change occurred like the day that we got beat by FaZe the second time in Blast.
Speaking of Elise, we got to hear some interviews from him before and really start to get into the team and understand the leadership issues going on over at Team Liquid. He was saying, you know, things have gone back to Stewie. Stewie's going to be calling for the team now. Fallen had picked it up for a while, but they
Why did I
didn't
change
really
my
feel like it
mouse?
was
I've been
working
playing good on
for
this
their
mouse.
style, and so Stewie's gone back to
Dropped to
him
30
being
yesterday.
It was IGLing in Cologne, but I think when we go back to the player break, we're gonna do Fallen IGLing.
How do you feel about the IGL situation over at Team Liquid? Because it's swapped back and forth between tournaments.
I am Arab.
Going into the North American
But I speak
RMR
English
that
as
they
my
played
first
at where they
language.
won and they beat Furia
I'm
in
saying
the
speak
final
English.
Final there. They were like, okay,
Did
we've
you
gone back
sell
to
your
Stewie,
soul to
even the Fallen was brought into
cheeseburgers?
IGL.
Now this is why you never argue with a dumb person, chat. Guys know the quote, right? When you argue with a dumb person or a moron, they bring you down to their level and beat you with experience. Remember that quote. Never argue with a dumb person, which is why would I entertain this guy? He's probably 15, jacking off in his mom's basement. Has crusties all over his stomach, you know. Probably has 2 double-doubles next to his side of his desk that he hasn't finished. Probably in the dark. Probably isn't, you know. It's all good, man. So, good luck, Piff Puff, or whatever your fucking name is.
And we're definitely sticking to that. And then Fallen was like, oh no, I'm doing it again. And now I don't think this is good for sort of team cohesion and stability personally.
I agree with you. I personally was not really pleased with the coming and going, like changing formulas. I was under the impression when Fallen came in that it was quite clear he was going to be the IGL. Of course, like he's one of the most veterans. He's won 2 majors in this role. So he was kind of
Nothing wrong with double-doubles. I'm just saying that's probably what he has next to the side of his desk.
Being dragged to the IGL situation inside the team, but you know, the IGL situation for me, it's more about a result of fixing problems than
7
the
in
problem
Q.
itself.
It's all good. I'm happy I at least get to watch this. I'm interested in it. Life Crusher, thank you for the 3 months, man. I appreciate
Players
it.
with different ways of playing the game. I think in 2019
Can't
we were
breathe.
kind of all on the same page, and we did have a little bit of.
Don't ever
know,
talk shit
everyone
about
kinda-
cheeseburgers, man. I mean, they have them everywhere in the fucking world, but if you talk shit on cheeseburgers here, you're crossing it, man. Don't talk shit about the food that America fucking loves. Look at that. Hey, post your picture of yourself in the chat, bro. I'm sure you'd do it, you fucking pussy.
agreed with the different styles that we wanted to approach and how we wanted to, you know, approach our CT sides or T sides. And when you have 2 strong different ideas on how to play the game, it's only going to work if both players are very willing, or the rest of the team is very willing to play those different styles.
I think this team could have gone much better if.
Thank you for the 16 months, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. Did I say Jake the Snake? Thank you for the 4 months. Hola. Hola.
If only Jake was calling before, I think this team could have been much better with only me calling. That's not really the issue that made us not go through, because stylistic-wise, I think we have a lot of similarities between me and Stewie. I think the real reason that we struggled to really become the team we wanted to be.
Whatever you do, don't click that,
because on my
guys.
last 3 years as a player, I have been playing with people who had achieved success in the past. And you know, once you achieve a big success in a career in an esports team, you kind of lose the ability to be patient and really
Don't let 'em make
work
'em up.
hard again to get the same vibes and get the same things going on. It takes some time.
You know what's crazy to think, Ryan? This guy literally made an account 6 hours ago, right? So when you think about this, this must mean he came in and he's just been following my chat for 23 minutes and he's already typed however many times. This must mean this guy's probably been going in streamers throughout the day and talking shit to him. I wonder how many streamers chats he's already banned in from today only from making his account. God damn. What a sad life.
Time for players to realize that they gotta go back to themselves, gotta go back to the same page as they had before if they want to be there again. I have dealt with that in my BR, I have dealt with that here in Team Liquid, and you know, for me that's the biggest problem, because everything else that was happening, every single thing that was happening inside the team was just a result of this problem. So we joined Team Liquid, not Fly.
But I still give him attention. I mean, it's fun. I still respond to everybody else. It's just fun to give him attention and just, you know. Sad life.
Elijah and Jake just have experienced the best years of their career. 2019 was awesome for them. They struggled a bit in 2020, and they're still
Hell
trying
yeah,
to figure
maniac.
out
Do
how
it.
they can get back to where they are. But as I have
When does Clay come back? He comes back Sunday, doesn't he?
said, I experienced that with different cars, different personalities, different nationalities. It's the same problem. People weren't really open to go back, roll back the years, and think about the game again, relearn it, see what is best, have trust in your teammates. The IGL situation, you know, you could have put here the best IGL in the world. If they have to deal with the same problems I have dealt, it's, on my opinion, very hard to do. There's more into it than just choosing which strategy.
And Sammy Krigar, thank you for gifting for the first time in this channel. How stupid are people that they think it matters? What they try and shitpost on for you? Fuck them. You crush it, lift heavy, fuck the trolls. 100p, dog. I appreciate you. Now, thank you for the gifted and the kind word. Sentence. Nero, thank you for the prime as well. Welcome. Welcome. Run another ad? Alright, you're right. Thank you for the ad money. Crisscross, whatever your name is. How was your nap?
Me and Dad spoon.
Really? Is he awake or still sleeping? Really? Oh my god. I'm playing FPL in a sec. Should be Sunday. You're working the game? The fuck? You work at the in the Oakland thing? Little Pie Mac, I already said your name. Hi. Why'd you start playing CS again instead of Valorant? Don't get me wrong, I love it. I play both, brother. But I've been playing a little bit more CS because I like playing FPL at the moment. Plus, I get more viewership in CS. I'm waiting for FPL still, guys. That's why 7 in queue. Because I know if I queue Pug, I'm gonna miss it. So I'm just watching this doc. Probably open a couple of cases, and yeah.
That's what we're gonna do. There is much more into it. CS is much more than that. CS is more about having all the
I
players
sound
in their
like
comfort
Cooper,
zone,
but way
having all the
deeper? What
players
do you mean?
Not only performing, but making their teammates perform.
Like
as
my
well.
voice?
It's all about
Like
the
my
synergy,
voice
it's all about
deeper?
this
Hey,
connection.
thanks, man.
And once you don't have the patience to go through all together, you don't want to face all the burdens as a team and live with all the defeats and learn from it. It's impossible to achieve the magic we all wanted to achieve.
Crisscross, English only, man. Come on, you got to know that. Come on, bro.
It's time to get this show
English
on
only.
the road, but it's not exactly going to be a
So take that 10-minute timeout, really rethink what you've said, if that's okay, and just relax, all right? Take 10 minutes. Breathe in, breathe out, all right? Cool.
smooth path for either of these teams.
Seeing the
going
Valorant Champ
forward, because
trailer,
Maniac-
yeah, I'm like happy I'm not playing against that shit at the moment. Oh, his eyes are literally cross-eyed right now. He's so tired. He looks like you right now. Oh, my eyes are closing easily. Like,
I love him.
I know he's a sweetheart. Me and Coop close? Yeah. All right, let's watch the end of this chat. Keep fucking stopping it for some reason.
Like we alluded to it earlier, roster changes, rumors in circulation for both of these squads. Stewie interview, I think, was really, really interesting. If you guys haven't read that, make sure you head on over to HLTV to get all that information. But it was a little bit savage at times. He was very brutally honest, very candid about some of the issues that have been going on in Liquid.
I guess we're not used to that in Counter-Strike.
What?
When it comes down to pointing a specific person out and giving specific examples, I don't like to do that kind of stuff because I feel like all that stuff is like team stuff. I think he went a little too hard.
Stu does throw him a lifeline a little bit and saying like, you just were in the wrong place at the wrong time. You got a lot of experience, but it's just, you also weren't the right choice for us. And like, that might be hard to hear, but it's not like he's saying he's the worst fucking player ever and he should never get a shot again.
I guess he was very straightforward. That's how Stewie is, and and he made sure to put it out there.
With the state of our current team, obviously Stewie is obviously going a separate way. So at the end of the day, it's like if you have to say anything to get off your chest, I believe you can do so.
It always is great for the public to be in more of the know, I guess, on what's happening. But you can be closer with the team and kind of.
Dude, it's like savage, but it's not. It's like there's way worse shit that happens. I mean, it sucks, but he's basically saying that he didn't work hard enough. Like, it wasn't that hard to read. Like, for me reading that, I'm like, dude, I get fucking yelled at, like, when I was playing football and shit, and like saying, that's not good enough. You need to be better. It's like, I was being screamed at by a coach. So, like, when I read something, I'm like, I mean, it might be more heartfelt as you're reading it, and I don't know if Grim heard it. But to me, that's motivation. Like, that should be instant motivation, in my opinion, just because he goes, oh, okay, he thinks this, right? All right, well, I'm going to prove him wrong. That's how I would think. And if you're not studying demos, like, I know that he wasn't, or not know, but he's basically saying that he wasn't working hard enough in the thing. Like, Grim's problem wasn't his aim. It was definitely, like, just the play style. Like, you gotta study, bro. If you don't study and if you don't understand how to study demos, you're fucking behind and you're never gonna be competing against the best players. Like, that's just the way it is. I didn't know how to do it in C9, and that was probably one of my biggest downfalls. I didn't know how to study well. I learned how to do it by myself, and you just have to put in the time. Like, the more demos you watch and you legit stare and watch, like, don't listen to it with voice comms. You just watch a demo. You can get so much shit just by watching one player playing your spot. You wonder why he smokes it at this time, why he throws a molly at this time, why he throws a flash, like why he plays this area. What does he do on an anti-eco? What does he do on an eco? Like, you get so much information from other players, and you should look at different regions as well because everyone plays it differently, and then see what works for against certain teams you scrim at boot camp or in NA, and then you go from there. Like, this works well against NA, this spot works well against NA, this style, and then when you play boot camp in Europe, see what works over there. That's what it all is. Scrims is trial and error. That's all it fucking is. If you're not trialing and you're not trying out new shit, not play like an idiot, but you're trying out different spots. You're trying to make your, like, how you play CT side deeper, and then how you play T side, like, okay, what can I do differently to make it look like how I'm defaulting a spot? You have to know how to do these things. And if you don't know how to do these things, and that comes from studying, because you can't innovate everything. So you have to study others. If you don't know how to do that, and if you're not doing that, you're never going to be a top 10 on a top, you're never going to be a top player. That's just the truth.
Understand what they're going through. But yeah, I think he definitely, exposed some truths, what's happening within the team.
As we know, Liquid is a dead team, as I heard, at least. Times are very complicated if you're Liquid. People are just falling apart. From now on, it's just for me. I'm going to play my Counter-Strike, I'm securing my future, and I don't care when you get the frags.
I wasn't going into this interview specifically with a chip on my shoulder. I honestly haven't even been paying attention much about Counter-Strike during my break before we came. And for me, all I knew with the team was that John was saying that we had internal problems and that we're not practicing. Like I said, I wasn't going there with a chip on my shoulder or trying to...
Yeah, Lige was actually the first one that talked in the interview and said there was issues with the team. Like, he was the first one publicly that actually said it. So then, yeah.
Go at anyone.
To go at Stewie's
I just
point.
answered the questions with some insight and from my perspective. And my intentions were to just give some insight and show how even a team with a lot of success has a lot of stuff to go through, and it's not as easy as everyone can see from the outside.
After seeing the interview, I was honestly a bit surprised because personally for me, I thought that some of the things he said in the interview were a bit wrong. Like, not wrong, maybe that's just what his perspective thinks, but for me personally and what I like to aspire myself to be, I thought it was wrong. Like, my work ethic, for example, I try to play as much as I can. I've been trying recently to watch as many demos as possible and really trying to understand the game. So to me, that was a bit of a shock, but I understood where he was coming from.
On my POV.
Yeah, see again, like when I hear that, I know it's not intentional how Stewie was doing it, but the culture that we live in, it's harsh. But you know what? That's not how shit works, bro. It's harsh, and that's how it is with the best teams in the world. And that's how it is in any fucking business, sport, whatever the fuck you're going to do in your life. So what Stewie to me was, he just answered the questions. It's just, Lige came out first, Stewie came out second, and Grim said recently he was watching demos, which to me, it's a bit of a red flag. When you say recently, well, how recent we talking? 2 weeks ago? 1 month ago? There's a lot that goes into it, man. What's up, Woody? How you doing? How do you? It's really fast, but getting good and easier. Not back to the vision. Yeah, dude. So much shit now.
Because from everyone in the team.
What's up, toughest kiddo?
They have been real listeners. They have been inside the team and believing that this will work, and I really appreciate that. And Mike was there.
What's your Twitter, by the way, toughest kiddo?
There to learn, and he was there to do demo reviews with me. He was there.
Grim is the easiest to blame. I bet you internally that Stewie and Lige are having the most problems. I'm willing to bet it.
To watch the practice reviews, we're changing ideas. I could see his development within time, So I think for a newcomer, he did what he had to do,
It's his right to say whatever he wants, especially when he's on his way out. The only thing I told him that where he crossed the line was talking about work ethic. It gives off bad impressions to other organizations.
So that is obviously something you should not be doing, and in my opinion is crossing the line.
I definitely think the interview lit a fire under me just because I was shocked that things could even be said like that to me in the first place. So it definitely inspired me to become even better.
There
Just
you go.
I guess prove it wrong in a way.
There you
I think the
go.
interview definitely
That's
put some light
the perfect
into,
thing
like,
you
what
want to
we're
hear.
going through, and this
Perfect.
was just Jake's perspective, but
What's up, buddy?
there's a lot of different things happening within the team to make them successful. It's not just what's happening in game, it's relationships out of game. There's many different factors, and there can be a million different things happening within the team. So I think he did shed some light on some of the problems we could be going through.
Just to be honest, like, it's not, honestly, it's just not about him. It was more so about us. And I truly think that Mike has potential to get to where he wants to get, but just under different type of leadership that's not ours. I didn't think he came in with the best chance possible to showcase what he has, just because there's a lot of role clashes already.
At this time, Liquid as a team and the players are going through a ton of stress from the community as well. So some players can be doing some certain stuff. Like, we've all been going through a lot of stress. So, but he basically came to me and was like, yeah, I'm sorry, like, I was just like going on a bit and I wasn't really paying much attention. Like, I didn't really mean most of it. Like, you're really good and valuable to the team, and most of the issues weren't my fault. Like, some of the issues were my fault, but the bigger picture of the issues weren't, and that really meant a lot to me, and that he was coming to clarify that, because like I said, it was a bit of a shock to me about what some of the stuff he said.
No, I'm saying, what's your Twitter, toughest kiddo? Post it in chat.
Yeah, 16-1 in the first map, which was Nuke, Astralis' pick, and now falling 16-10 on Mirage. This is upset city, upset central, call it what you like. It's not the result that too many would predict it. Dead team and Team Liquid dominated Astralis. They're feeling it. There's no stress within that squad.
Astralis no more.
True, they won't hurt us anymore.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it. For next year, every single one of you, it's on the mind. Stop taking care of the game and take care of the mind.
100%.
Okay? Thanks. Only one thing I ask you guys. Next year, no more choking, no more bad vibes. Mind, you lose, you learn. One day you win.
1000%. Bro, this is like, that's literally like what I used to say to my fucking teams. You lose when you learn when you lose.
At some time, shotgun him. Yeah, that's 16 now. Best part of the day now.
So I took over managing this team in 2015, that's what you tell me? NA was pretty much just a joke at this point. Every year we continued to look to improve and add pieces and cover weaknesses of the previous.
You know what the funniest thing is? I played this guy in a team in Source in like 2011 professionally with this guy in Counter-Strike Source.
Previous iteration of the roster. Obviously there was some bumps, some hits and misses. We're not shooting 100% here. I think for the most part, almost every roster change we did made us a better iteration than the last. We went on to do something that no team had ever done at that point, which was win a Grand Slam in 63 days and become the first ever NA #1 team. From there, COVID kind of hit. Things started going like pretty downhill. A lot of unexpected personal and professional things thrown our way to deal with. It's been kind of just us trying to figure things out. I guess post-COVID era has been very, very hard. And that kind of leads us to here, where we're starting over. So unfortunately with this roster, we never really got to see its full potential. There was a lot of baggage coming in, and you know, some things we just couldn't get over. If there's some positives or silver linings that I think we learned along the way, is that Fallen still has it. You know, when he came from MIBR, a lot of people were questioning him.
Connected.
You know, is he still a tier 1 player? Does he still have that drive?
Microphone
can
muted.
he still compete with the top teams in the world? And I think he proved that he can.
User
Just
entered your
because
channel.
we couldn't figure
User left
out
your
our
channel.
shit doesn't mean that Fallen doesn't have it together as a player. We look at someone like Jake, and again, clearly still has it. He is still a top player in the world. He is the ultimate
Channel switched.
encyclopedia of Counter-Strike. He knows every reaction, every outcome.
Who?
Player in the world. He
User joined your channel.
is the ultimate encyclopedia of Counter-Strike.
Yeah,
He knows
for sure.
every reaction, every outcome. Like watching Jake talk about the game and go over strategy is something I've never seen in another player. The guy is a Counter-Strike genius, and whatever team Jake ends up going to is in for a treat. And as for Mike, our last departing soldier here, is that he is the ultimate soldier. He will do anything, any role, any position, he'll do it. He has a trait of just being a sponge and enjoying the moment. And he brought
Yeah, Stewie is the GOAT of NACS for sure.
Like that rookie excitement to this team that is going to be hard to find again.
In one word, could we see Team Liquid win a major next year?
Yeah. Team Liquid can win a major next year. That's not a yes. Yes is the one word, yes.
Never fucking know. CS, bro. God, these guys are such dweebs. I hate playing with these kids.
Microphone activated.
Let's pick a Chicago server.
Microphone muted.
Fucking dweebs.